The following film reflects the findings of our research with young adults in the UK who were conceived through anonymous sperm donation. Our research was conducted at the same time as more and more people across the world are using direct-to-consumer or commercial DNA testing. These tests are currently at the centre of debates about donor information provision. How did the young adults we spoke to feel about DNA testing? And how far were the tests important to their experiences of being donor conceived? The stories you're about to hear are based on a nationwide survey and the interviews conducted as part of our research.
DNA testing. I don't even trust these things that you spit in and it tells you you've got family from hundreds of years ago and millions of miles away. No, to me, it doesn't really mean anything. I don't know, it's like family's people that are close to you in the sense that you sort of have the upbringing you've had. I've got siblings, we get on well. That's kind of it, really. The blood doesn't really mean anything to me. And I think life is about here and now and what you're doing, not about 200-300 years ago.
So yes, I found my donor and several siblings through DNA testing. In the end, I used a search organisation with researchers that specialise in genealogy. I don't know how they did it, to be honest. It was really complicated. But it wasn't like I got the email about the donor and then all of a sudden my life shifted and I have another family or anything. And the way I felt about it is it was a very slow trickle, still ongoing. It's been, a year? So yeah, it hasn't been as I expected. I did think I would feel more... I don't know whether it's because I've still not fully accepted it or because I was already in that mindset before of, actually, I'm already as okay with it as I can be, with it all, and I can just look forwards now.
The DNA testing, I've done it as well, and I haven't found anybody. I was kind of disappointed with the results because nothing really helpful came back. You don't actually realise how unpredictable it is. Like, I didn't get any matches. Not one on my donor's side. It was disappointing. I thought that maybe there was a chance that, I don't know, that something would come up. Maybe I had the wrong idea about it. I just had a kind of like vision in my mind of one day when I'm probably not expecting it, I might maybe to get that email from a half sibling, even if we don't end up being the best friends or whatever. Yeah, at least being in each other's lives.
I eventually decided to do a test. Well, I bought it a few months before I took it. It was on sale at the time and I just thought, I'll buy it. Don't have to do it. I think it was probably about a month ago I actually took it and I found a half sibling, someone conceived using the same donor, which is quite cool. We've talked a bit, that's been good. And then later on, I think a cousin did it. But with the donor stuff, I wasn't looking for my donor and I think it's made me think about whether I'd actually want to contact him or not. Then my half-sibling registered on another site, so if she finds someone on there, obviously she'll tell me about it. But she's going to do another one as well, in case someone comes on there. She wants to find out more than me, especially about the donor, so that's something we've talked about.
Yeah, well, that's how I found out about being donor conceived. Yeah. So it's a Monday morning. I get this message from someone saying that they think they're my half-sibling. And, well, actually, okay, so I thought it was probably just someone like making a mistake or like a joke. So I was like, okay, right, what an idiot. And also maybe it's just like a spam thing. And then, so I go onto this website and I see it's got like it was 26% match or something. And I was like, okay, right, yeah, this is a bit strange. So I look her up on Facebook and like she's got my face. And so I spent like 2 hours thinking, oh my God, like did one of my parents have an affair? Or like, did they have a child who was adopted? Or like, were they a donor themselves? Or I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know what to think.
I've got the information from the HFEA, and for me, that's the best place to start. I know how many people were conceived using the same donor, and so if I do decide to do a DNA test, there won't be a big shock. And I think probably the reason I haven't done a DNA test yet is for fear that something will come up about my donor, and I'm just not ready to do that yet. So, yeah, maybe in the future, but at the minute, no. It's also really expensive, but I'm on Donor Sibling Link, the register for exchanging information with siblings, and I am curious about them, but my donor has always been anonymous and none of my siblings are on it. So, yeah, that's kind of where mine has ended up. I think if no one ends up on the register, then either they don't know or they don't want to, or it's their choice. I don't feel I need that. And it's okay if they want to keep their life separate to mine, or if they don't know about their conception or something, that's them.
I think one of the last things I'd want is to be contacted by someone who said, hello, I'm your dad, or hello, I'm your brother. Like, no, I'm just happier not knowing. Let's say I did want to find out at some point in the future, then fair enough, but I want it to be on my terms. And if I did that, then I'll look at it and I'll deal with it. But to be honest, I just don't want contact.
It was definitely good for me to meet them. I mean, it was interesting to hear about my half-siblings and their experience of growing up being donor conceived in like just a very different kind of setup to me. But with my half-sister, when we met, we were so on the same page about the speed that we wanted to move at and how interested we were and what we wanted. With my donor, it's like we are related as hell, but it doesn't feel like a paternal relationship. I mean, I really did mean it when I said to my dad, it's like reinforce that you are absolutely my dad, like it has. I've also connected to my donor's children. They've really embraced me, which is great. Yeah, I feel lucky. I know that's not the experience everyone has.
The companies that do these tests, I didn't get any impression that they really offer any support. I think maybe there should be some kind of like, are you seeing something here you are not expecting? Like, do you want to talk about it? I think until you do it, you don't realise maybe how much of a big thing it is. Like, I did it mainly just to find out more about my heritage. And I can sit there endlessly scrolling through fourth cousins or whatever, but someone else might find their donor straight away.
It's quite difficult to get your head around the fact that you have no choice to know if you want to. And as much as you can do the DNA testing, in terms of finding a specific person, it's not always possible.
Some of the siblings that I connected with are aware that they're donor conceived, but they kind of told me they don't want to know anything or to have a relationship with me, which I appreciate and I will respect that. For the 3 people that I have now connected with, yeah, I guess we're building and establishing how it's going to work for all of us, you know? Yeah, I'd say it's an evolving journey.
If you're donor conceived, whether or not you choose to take a DNA test, the development of this technology can present you with new and unanticipated experiences. Follow the QR code on the screen to find out more information about DNA testing and donor conception, and for more information about the findings of our research.